Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Garcia, Professor of Anatomy here at Texas Women's University Institute for Health Sciences. I want to welcome you to your anatomy lab and to your new program here at Texas Women's University. The intent of this video is to show and inform you of the policies and procedures for anatomy lab. Before we go in, no food or drinks in an anatomy lab, and also proper dress code is required, which I will go over once we enter. Now, here in the hallway, the first thing you will notice, there are two sets of locker rooms. You have males on the far right, and here we have women. Let's go into the locker room and see the contents. Here in the locker room, you will notice plenty of low seating, plenty of chair seating. You will notice lots of available lockers. Make sure you bring a lock your first day, that way you can protect your valuables. I also want to re-emphasize no food here in the locker room or the anatomy lab. Here in the locker room, it is okay to have a closable water bottle, just so you can come and get some water when you need. Also, I want to make sure we keep this area clean. Now we can go into the anatomy lab. Now, to get into the anatomy lab, we badge in again. Once we enter the anatomy lab, you will notice the setup. This front area has several tables for didactic work. Here you will be doing group assignments. You will be working on bone boxes, and you will do some computer work here at these tables as well. To the far right, you will see a large dry erase board, as well as on the far left, large dry erase boards. Here you will be performing your drawings, which you will take a picture of and submit for completion. The back part of the anatomy lab, you will notice, has the cadaver tanks. There are 8 cadaver tanks. In between these two areas of the anatomy lab, you will notice the large sectra table. Here you will be performing virtual dissection for a great learning opportunity. Now let me talk to you about the required attire for anatomy lab. The lab coat, scrubs underneath, and closed-toed shoes. In addition, a mask, a disposable mask, gloves. We have boxes of different sizes of nitrile gloves, and then face shield. A face shield which can be used all semester, and or goggles. A third option is prescription. If you have to use prescription lenses, are some side brackets that can be purchased, and that will be used as a face shield as well. There are 3 sinks in the anatomy lab. This is the front sink. Above each, the first aid kits. Part of the first aid kits are the eye wash. This is for small eye irritants. You open this up and you will open a bottle, a sealed bottle, which you can use to rinse an eye for minor eye irritants. In each first aid kit, you will have gauzes, you will have ace bandages, band-aids, and such. There are 2 other sinks. There's one on the far right here, and there's one on the far left. Each one of those has the same first aid supplies above. Other safety issues, on the far right corner of the anatomy lab is an emergency exit. That goes to the hallway for which you walk down to come to the front door. Good. For major eye chemical irritants, or chemical spills onto the body. Here is the eye wash station. This is towards the front of the anatomy lab, right through the front doors. What you would do is grab here and pull down. This system will come down flat, and as it does, it activates the water fountain, which will come up and down like this. You will lean over it, you will put your eyes in the water, and you will use your fingers. You will have access to both of your hands to keep your eyes open and flush the eye for 15 minutes. For major chemical spills onto the body, here we have the shower rinse. Water will come from here, it'll shower down to the drain. To activate it, you take this lever and pull it down to the bottom, and that will activate the water flow system, and you stand under there for 15 minutes. Let me demonstrate where we keep the gloves. Here we have all different sizes of gloves. We have the face mask, and we have the trash bags. These trash bags are going to line the buckets, which we're going to go to right here. You will notice every cadaver tank will have a bucket. You will line that trash bag into this bucket, and that's where the disposable tissues will go. At the end of each lab, you will close up the trash bag. Make sure you get rid of all the air. We don't want an inflated trash bag. And then we will tie it in a knot, and then we will put all the trash bags at the end of the lab into this tank labeled tissue tank. Now Dr. Howe and I will demonstrate how to raise and lower the cadaver from this tank here. First, open one, and then the door. On this particular model, it has the long bar. So when Dr. Howe is ready, I'm going to give 1, 2, 3. And on 3, we will slowly lower the bar, which will raise up the cadaver. And once we get to the final position, I will show you a close-up how to lock the bar in place. 1, 2, 3. Now right here, make sure it's firmly in place, and that is locked. At the end of lab, the opposite procedures. We will unlock, and then on 3, 1, 2, 3, which slowly, very slowly, because we don't want to create any splash, it will slowly lower the body back into the fluid.
Okay.
Let me show you where we keep the dissection tools. Here, the individual places are labeled: forceps, scissors, scalpels, and probes. Here in the cabinet on the left side, you will see the kits, dissection kits. Each kit will have the following contents: forceps, a sharp probe, a blunt probe, scissors, and a scalpel. To remove the blade, come to the end of the foil paper, slowly start separating it. You will notice on the blade there is an opening here in the middle. Just separate the foil paper just to the end of that opening. Now you take the scalpel. Notice that diagonal angle of the blade corresponds to this diagonal angle of the scalpel. I will place the distal tip of the scalpel into the opening and into the groove. Notice with my left hand, I am holding the blade in place with the foil paper and not at the edge, the sharp edge of the blade. All I do once I get it into the groove is push the scalpel upward into the blade until you hear that click there, and now your blade is intact. Once you're finished dissecting, to remove the blade, you will find a disposable blade remover blue box in each one of the outer tables. You take your used blade, insert it into this hole, insert it all the way in till it hits the back wall there, and it can't go in any further. Place it on the table. There's a button on top. Press down on the button with your thumb, and then all you do is hold that box and pull the scalpel. Place the blade in, press downward, and then pull. That's how you remove the blade.